We have major news this morning. California Democrats are fighting back. This is something that a lot of folks around the country have wanted to see, Democrats fighting back when their backs against the wall. Well, this morning, according to Punchbowl News, California House Democrats are planning on potentially conducting a mid-year redistricting cycle. What that means is they may redistrict California to add up to 5 to 7 new Democratic congressional seats, potentially ahead of the 2026 midterm elections, to help Democrats win the House of Representatives. Now, before I continue, I do want to say this: partisan gerrymandering is not legal, whether Republicans do it or Democrats do it. But what California Democrats are doing is in response to what Texas Republicans are doing under Governor Greg Abbott. Earlier this year, Governor Abbott and the Texas legislature called a special legislative session, which will be coming up this summer. And as part of the legislative session, they plan on redistricting or gerrymandering 5 seats from deep blue seats in Texas to deep red seats, potentially giving Republicans an opportunity to pick up to 5 new congressional seats ahead of the 2026 midterm elections, which favor Democrats, given that it's an off year following a Republican win in the White House and given Donald Trump's current approval ratings. And well, now Governor Gavin Newsom saying, not so fast. If you can do it, I can do it. And so California may soon do the same thing that Texas is doing, just in California. And California could target up to 7 seats, potentially even picking up seats for Democrats. Now, there's still a process to this. There are going to be a ton of legal battles, both in Texas and in California, if the states go through with it. And it's going to make its way all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. And we're going to see what happens. But California Democrats are ready to fight back. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to support my work by clicking the button below to my Substack, or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. In other news, overnight, Senate Republicans passed what is called a rescission package. While you were asleep, they codified about $9 billion in DOGE cuts into law. These cuts include cuts to foreign aid, specifically to USAID, along with cuts to public broadcasting like NPR and PBS. Now, I do want to make something clear. Originally, DOGE cuts were supposed to be trillions of dollars. Then it went to hundreds of billions, and then it ended up only being $9 billion in cuts from DOGE. Now, this bill will now move to, or this package will move to the House, and it has to pass by tomorrow night due to budgetary deadlines. So we'll see if the House passes it, but the Senate largely supported it in terms of Republican support. Every Democrat voted against it. 2 Republicans, Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, voted against it. In addition, late last night, while some were asleep, Maureen Comey, who was a former Assistant United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, the daughter of James Comey, the former FBI director, she was fired by the Department of Justice. Now, here's what's interesting. Maureen Comey is one of the lead prosecutors, or was one of the lead prosecutors in the Jeffrey Epstein case, along with the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. She prosecuted Maxwell and Epstein. She was also the lead prosecutor in the recent Diddy trial, which the Southern District of New York did not win in. But according to reports, her firing did not come from the local Southern District of New York, but rather from DOJ headquarters, from Pam Bondi herself, probably. No explanation was given, and she was given a show of support from her colleagues in the Southern District. They all showed solidarity by escorting her out together. Why would Donald Trump fire Epstein's prosecutor? That's a question we need answers to. And now House Speaker Mike Johnson is clarifying that his call for more Epstein information was misrepresented, saying that he and Trump are aligned in supporting transparency and that, quote, all of the credible information should be released for the public to judge. And a new Reuters poll found 69% of Americans believe that the Trump administration is hiding details about Epstein's clients, with just 17% approving his handling of the case, his lowest rating on any issue. In non-Epstein news, Trump's announcement that Coca-Cola will switch to cane sugar has sparked backlash from the corn industry, warning that it could move and cost that move could cost thousands of U.S. farm jobs. Tens of thousands of people today are expected to be protesting across all 50 states as part of the Good Trouble Lives On protest. Today is the anniversary of John Lewis's death. He was honored his legacy. He's a civil rights icon, and it's meant to protest the Trump administration's latest policies and attacks on civil liberties, voting rights, immigrants, marginalized communities, and more. There are going to be flagship events in Chicago and Atlanta and Oakland, and I'll provide you updates throughout the day. Black box recordings from last month's Air India crash indicate that the captain intentionally shut off the plane's fuel switches. Yeah. ICE arrests of immigrants without criminal charges or convictions have surged in June after the Trump administration tripled the agency's arrest quota. Retail sales rebounded sharply in June after a spring slowdown. An Israeli strike hit Gaza's only Catholic church, killing 2 and injuring several. A new U.S. assessment shows that June's airstrikes on Iran significantly damaged the Iranian Fordo nuclear facility, but left the Natanz and Isfahan sites largely intact, contradicting what Trump was saying. That's all the news right now. There's some more good news in my Substack below, so check it out. Subscribe to support my work by clicking the button below or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parness, and I'll see you this evening.